Dave, first let's just start with Julio this afternoon. What did you see from him, and what, I guess, was it? Ready now?
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Dave, let's just start with Julio Urias today. What did you see from him from the mound?
I just didn't think he got settled in. I just didn't, from the velocity to the command of the secondary pitches, he just didn't seem in sync. So from pitch number one, regardless of the conditions, we still expect him to, give us more length. But right there where I just saw kind of not really commanding anything, I just felt that, get somebody else in there.
Why do you think he, if you know, why do you think he wasn't in sync today?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to, Julio's not about excuses, nor am I. I do know that I think he had 2 outings in spring training. So just the sharpness, even his last outing against the Angels wasn't sharp. And it kind of carried over to today. So certainly expect him to get on track as we continue this season. But today I just don't think that there was anything he could really go to and count on.
You're able to go to Mitch to get some length. What did you see from him today?
I thought Mitch was fantastic. He gave us length, he gave us innings, and he kept us in the ball game. And he knows his role, and for him to come out in that situation and give us a chance to win was huge.
You guys had 10 hits today, but I just want to quickly focus on Cody Bellinger, him finally getting the results. How much confidence can that give to a player like Cody?
I think it's certainly can add some confidence, getting the swing and bunt to get the first hit of the year, kind of similar to his first major league hit years ago. And then to get a hit, 2 strikes, and to get a base hit to right field and to have a walk, I thought that was a good at-bat. So, you think you look at the last 6 at-bats, they've been all quality at-bats for me. And so that's just something that he's just got to continue to do that.
Is the velocity drop with Julio a concern?
No, I don't think it's certainly not ideal. I just don't think I do think it's a byproduct of not just having that normal buildup. And I'm not using it as an excuse. I think it's just matter of fact. So we're building him up and building up arm strength. And so I think that's the reason. He's healthy. He feels good. That's one part of it. But even the secondary today, the changeup, the breaking ball, just wasn't there.
Yeah, we heard Dave Roberts talking about Julio Urias not being sharp today. Jerry, the velocity down as well. Is this something to be concerned about, or is it just part of him still building up?
I hope it's the latter, him still building up. And I just look at his body. I love his commitment, trying to maybe drop some pounds. But if you look at his legs, they're a lot skinnier than they were last year. The good thing about Julio Urias in recent years, his leg strength. He uses those legs to drive with that fastball, and that's why he had fastballs upwards around 95 to 97, and it would sit at 94 miles an hour. Now that fastball's not there, and also the slider, the breaking ball seems to leak a little bit more instead of have that sharp break. The legs are concerning.
Yeah, and when you're bringing up the legs, you're bringing up that, and the concerning is the velocity there. When you look at it, that's one thing that you probably still have. You may not have the sharpness, you may not have the command. We know he has a changeup, we know he has a breaking ball, a good one, and it has some good sharpness and depth to that. Well, he's coming from 2 places, the last that we've seen him, where the balls just don't break quite as well. Arizona, when you're over there in spring training, and then you go to Colorado. So that break, it just isn't there. But so you can say, well, I can give him maybe a pass going up, and he's building up. Just like you said, it could be the latter where you're just trying to build up and you have abbreviated spring training. But when it comes to kind of that velocity and that life, that should still be there in spring training, let alone coming into the season and the adrenaline kind of kicking into. We know a couple guys like, well, I might be about a mile per hour or 2 below, but I can't wait till that adrenaline kicks in and you're like, I'm fine. Right there, we didn't see that today, so that's probably more concerning to me, more than the sharpness of the pitches because of where he's coming from. So hopefully that plays itself out.
As you guys know, never skip leg day.
No.
Hopefully he didn't skip leg days during the offseason. Get those things strong. Certainly needs it. Cody Bellinger picked up his first 2 hits of the season. Played strong defense as always. More reaction ahead from Colorado.
Assuming that the ball was going to be caught.
Dodgers were in the game at that time, down just 6-4. They lose it, though, 9-4. It was a tough day for Julio Urias. Let's hear from him right now with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Julio, just first off, how would you describe what happened out there today?
¿Cómo puedes describir lo que pasó esta noche?
Bueno, un día raro, no pienso, un día en todos los sentidos, ¿no? El viento y todos los sentidos, un día raro, la verdad, un día raro, pero pues me siento bien, físicamente me siento bien y pues listo para la próxima.
Yeah, it was a strange day, from the start, with the wind, with everything that was going on, it just felt really strange. Physically, I feel great, but, just a strange day.
Do you think just with a shortened spring training, did that have an impact, do you think, on just with this first start of the season?
¿Piensas con el entrenamiento de spring training que estaba tan poquito, tú piensas que te afectó en el empiezo de la temporada?
No, es parte de lo que tenemos que acostumbrar todos, obviamente, no solo para mí, no, eso es para todos los equipos, simplemente hay que acostumbrarse a eso.
No, it's part of it, everybody had to make those adjustments, everybody had to do the same thing, so it's just something that we all had to work through.
Do you have any takeaways from today, or is this a game that you just put it in the past and move forward?
¿Es algo que puedes sacar de este juego o es algo que nomás pones en el pasado?
Sí, viendo el video ya en los próximos días vamos a platicar con los coaches y obviamente hacer ese ajuste de que vimos hoy, ¿no? Que vimos lo malo.
Yeah, just making adjustments, watching the video, talking to the coaches and seeing what I could do differently.
Julio, do you know why your fastball didn't have as much life on it today as it's been known to have in the past?
¿Tú sabes por qué tu recta no salía como la antepasado o como la velocidad que tenía?
No, yo me siento bien, es todo lo que puedo decir.
Yeah, no, I feel good. Just everything I could say about it.
And that will be an ongoing story over his next few starts. At least something to keep an eye on. His average velocity last year in the fastball was 94.1. Today, it was only 91.4, so almost 3-mile-an-hour drop. Dodgers lose. Let's hear from the skipper, Dave Roberts, right now with Kirsten and the media.
Both sides, giving each other gifts as far as runs are concerned. But I think there was more to this game, that obvious lost the game, than there's just those couple of errors that the Dodgers had. We talked about, the sharpness of your starting pitcher just wasn't there for the Dodgers. And also, the way Colorado, they were finding ways to put up runs. They were even generating runs. They were stealing bases. They were moving guys over, sacrifice flies. Yeah. They did a lot of little things to get the win today.
Not great presentation for the Dodgers in this entire series, losing 2 out of 3. Right now, let's head back to the booth, check in one final time with Joe Davis and Eric Karros.
Well, not a good one for the Dodgers today. They win on opening day. They lose game 2. Today, not pretty. 9-4, they fall to the Rockies.
They had some opportunities, and I think if you want to look at some of the bright spots, the bullpen was pretty good. Mitch White did a nice job. And the Dodgers, they were down 6-0 and, came back and, were within 2 runs, made a ball game of it, but just wasn't meant to be.
I think not nearly the offense everybody expected over the first few days. They go to Minnesota, try to get it started on Tuesday.
And look at Minnesota. Hopefully the weather cooperates. But again, this offense is going to be a lot better than what we saw. Look at one home run? Was that it, Austin Barnes? Or did we have another?
Yeah.
Was that it? One home run in the entire series. Like, I would have.
At Coors Field.
At Coors Field.
Right.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, they only score 11 runs in these 3 games. 9 of the 11 runs came in 2 individual frames. They had the 5-run inning on Friday, 4-run inning today. Not enough as the Rockies get 9 and take 2 of 3 from the Dodgers.